The Hope Diamond is one of the most famous gems in the world, famed for its almost supernatural, deep blue brilliance. But the jewel has a reputation for much darker reasons as well. Legend has it that the diamond was stolen from a sacred statue in India centuries ago, and from that moment on, it carried a curse. The gem passed through the hands of French merchants, European nobility, and American millionaires, and with each new owner came stories of tragedy, bankruptcies, scandals, even deaths. The curse became so notorious that newspapers in the 19th century printed dramatic tales of the diamond's supposed victims. So, what's the real story behind the curse of the Hope Diamond? One of the most popular legends surrounding the Hope Diamond's origins dates back to the 17th century. The story goes that the diamond was originally set in a statue of the Hindu goddess Kali in the temple town of Seringapatam in India. A French merchant named Jean-Baptiste Tavernier is said to have visited the town in 1640 and discovered the gem. However, there are no written records to support this tale. What we do know is that Tavernier did travel extensively in India during his lifetime, collecting diamonds and other precious stones to sell in Europe. According to some accounts, he smuggled the diamond out of India by hiding it inside a wound on his leg. Upon arriving in Paris, he presented the gem to King Louis XIV of France. Thus began the diamond's association with French royalty. Over the years, the stone was cut and recut several times until it reached its final form, a brilliant cushion shape weighing over 45 carats. It was during this time that the diamond gained its infamous reputation. The first owner in the line linked to the curse was Nicolas Fouquet, the French tax collector general who acquired the stone in 1673. Within just 2 years, he was charged with embezzlement and spent the remainder of his life imprisoned in the fortress of Pignerol. Some say the diamond brought him bad luck. Others claim he was simply a crook whose downfall was inevitable. In 1688, the gem made its way into the hands of King Louis XIV, the Sun King, who ruled France for over 72 years. The diamond was set in a brooch and often seen on the king's wife, Marie Mancini. However, her tragic fate further cemented the Hope Diamond's connection to misfortune. After giving birth to a stillborn child, she contracted smallpox and died at the age of 28, supposedly a direct result of the diamond's curse. The next owner was the Prince of Conti, who pawned the gem to a jeweler named Jean de la Corderie in 1691. Despite being a respected figure in society, the prince had fallen on hard times financially and was desperate for money. Tragically, he died before receiving the funds from the pawn shop, leading many to believe that the Hope Diamond had claimed another victim. For the next few decades, the gem changed hands frequently, passing through the Rothschild banking family and into the possession of various nobles. In 1812, it was purchased by an English earl, Lord Francis Seymour Conway, who included it among his estate when he died. His son inherited the diamond, but his time with the gem was short-lived. In 1833, Lord Henry Seymour Conway took his own life after losing heavily at the races, leaving the diamond to be seized by his creditors. At this point, the legend of the Hope Diamond's curse had already taken hold in the public imagination. Newspapers around the world ran sensationalist articles connecting the gem to a string of misfortunes. One writer described it as a jewel, which seemed to have been fashioned by Satan himself. With such a reputation, it's no wonder that the diamond's new owner, American millionaire Henry Walters, died under mysterious circumstances just 2 years later. He suffered from ill health and financial ruin, and some believed the curse had struck again. However, the next owner, Evelyn Walsh McLean, may have been the most affected by the Hope Diamond's supposed curse. In 1911, McLean and her husband, Harry, purchased the diamond for $500,000, the modern equivalent of nearly $15 million from Pierre Cartier. Unfortunately, their time with the gem was overshadowed by tragedy. Their son died just months after receiving the diamond. Then their daughter fell ill and their house burned to the ground. To make matters worse, Evelyn's sister and brother-in-law were killed in a car accident. With each tragedy, the press continued to sensationalize the curse, branding the Hope Diamond a bringer of doom. Evelyn was deeply affected by the tragedies and began to fear that she was somehow responsible. She turned to the spiritualist movement for solace, hoping to communicate with her dead son. However, her grief-stricken state made her vulnerable to fraudsters, one of whom even impersonated her dead child in order to con her out of large sums of money. Eventually, she left the diamond in the care of a friend and entered a psychiatric hospital for treatment. There, she developed a debilitating phobia of crowds and never fully recovered. She remained largely secluded for the rest of her life, unable to enjoy the diamond she once cherished. Upon her death in 1940, the Hope Diamond was returned to her estate. Her family decided to donate the gem to the Smithsonian Institution to prevent it from being broken up and sold. Today, it is one of the most popular artifacts in the National Museum of Natural History. Millions of people come from around the world to see its legendary beauty and hear its chilling tale. Despite its notoriety, the Hope Diamond remains one of the most valuable and beautiful gemstones in the world. Its deep blue color is due to trace amounts of boron in its chemical structure. The gem is also exceptionally rare, with only a handful of similar quality stones known to exist. However, its beauty is forever intertwined with tales of woe, making it one of the most feared jewels in history. So, what's the truth behind the Hope Diamond's curse? Skeptics argue that the so-called curse is nothing more than superstition. They point to the fact that many of the misfortunes attributed to the diamond can be explained by coincidence or human error. For example, some owners lost money due to gambling or poor financial decisions, while others met untimely ends because they lived during a time when safety standards were low. Additionally, the diamond changed hands numerous times throughout history, meaning that there were plenty of opportunities for tragedy to strike. Those who believe in the curse, however, argue that the evidence is too compelling to ignore. They point to the fact that the misfortunes have continued to occur long after the diamond was removed from religious worship. Furthermore, some of the tragedies seem too dramatic to be mere coincidence. For example, the death of Lord Henry Seymour Conway, who took his own life shortly after acquiring the diamond, or the mysterious demise of Henry Walters, who suffered sudden illness and financial ruin. Whether cursed or not, the Hope Diamond story continues to fascinate us today. Its journey from ancient India to the Smithsonian Institution is a testament to the gem's enduring allure. For those who believe in its power, the Hope Diamond remains a symbol of mystery and intrigue. For skeptics, it serves as a reminder of how easily human minds can conjure up terrifying tales from tragedy and chance. But one thing is certain: the Hope Diamond will continue to captivate audiences for generations to come. The Hope Diamond is widely regarded as one of the most cursed objects in the world, bringing ruin and despair to all who possess it. But is there any truth to these claims? Join me next time as we delve into the chilling tale of the cursed object and separate fact from fiction. You won't want to miss it. What do you think about the Hope Diamond? Is there any truth to the curse? Let me know your thoughts below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on mysterious and fascinating topics. Thanks for watching.